Hey guys, Saintsfan here, and today I wanted to talk to you guys about something that may be a little bit controversial. GTA in the future. Now before anyone in the comment section says GTA is not about the future, GTA is based in either past or present. Well, if you didn't play GTA 2, which I didn't, and I actually learned this while researching this topic, GTA 2 was actually in the future. So this idea of having a future GTA game set in a future time period isn't as far as you might think. Now, will it ever happen? Probably not. This is probably just one of those videos we can all dream about, but I wanted to talk about it because I think this is a pretty interesting topic. Now, starting with GTA 2, I'll give you guys a little bit of a background on that game. So, it came out in 1999, and it took place in the town referred as Anywhere, USA, and it was actually a retro-futuristic metropolis. Now, there's a pretty big debate on whether or not this game actually takes place in the future, because the look of it, like I said, it is sort of a futuristic look, but a lot of the in-game references actually suggest the game is set in 1999, but there are some fictional journal entries on the GTA 2 website which suggested that the game took place in 2013. So if the game actually did take place in 2013, that means that would be 14 to 15 years in the future from when it came out. So having a GTA game set in a future environment is something that Rockstar has actually done in the past. Now, would this work for, or would people even want this for a future GTA game? Now there's something we're gonna have to talk about, because I feel like a lot of people are misinformed with the term futuristic. So I would imagine, at least nowadays, most people, when you say futuristic and relate that to a video game, you're probably thinking Call of Duty and how bad it is. Well, there are actually quite a bit of futuristic games that are actually good. And whether or not a game is set in the future has no effect on if the game is good or not. It comes down to the gameplay. Some games, for instance, that do take place in a futuristic event, you got Fallout, you got Doom, Overwatch, Halo, Portal kind of takes place in one, Borderlands, Mirror's Edge, Deus Ex, Half-Life, Gears of War, and the list goes on. There's a ton of games that are in the future that aren't bad, like Call of Duty. And I'm not trying to hate on Call of Duty, that's kind of what the main opinion on the game is. Also, a futuristic setting doesn't mean that there has to be a cyberpunk or steampunk theme to it. I mean, for me, for instance, when I think of future, the movie Tron pops in my head, where everyone is, on those neon bikes and there's dubstep going around. But that's not necessarily what a future world will be like. And I think that's where a future GTA could really be interesting. So when I talk about a futuristic setting for GTA, I'm talking about something along the lines, kind of like how Red Dead Redemption went from the Wild Wild West to the new modern world. Well, what if a future GTA game went from the world we live in now to that futuristic era? Now, unfortunately, the biggest downside to having a GTA game set in the future is that it'll be a lot harder to parody things, since we obviously don't know what they would be. Let's just say in like 2050, if that's the time period that this game would take place in. Although there's a lot of sort of experimental stuff that scientists and, the government and all that, they're working on now that I'm sure Rockstar could take advantage of and use that to parody. I think if this were the case, Rockstar would definitely have to be more creative in making certain things, since they can't just take a celebrity and switch up a few things and then make a character from that. They'd have to come up with some new and original characters and creations and worlds, I guess, instead of basing it off of a real-life equivalent. And honestly, having a GTA game set in the future would kind of be good for Rockstar, because it would be a great platform for exaggerated satire. Like, they could go crazy on the amount of stuff in their future version of the world. And if Rockstar ever do want to take GTA to the future, I think what we just talked about is the best possible way of doing it, because it's not the typical cyberpunk futuristic setting with floating cars and cyborg cops and stuff. Now, granted, they could maybe have a little fun game mode or something where it is that, and you know, you have the dubstep that we were talking about earlier, maybe a sort of futuristic city that's, you know, dystopian looking, filled with crime, and there's a lot of stuff. And especially they had aliens in GTA 5 because you did drugs, so maybe there's some sort of future drugs that make you go into that world, right? But in my opinion, a GTA world set in the future, or just a Rockstar game set in a realistic future, I think would be really cool. And that's like the question I want you guys to answer in the comment section. One, would you want a GTA game in the future? And if not, because I'm sure a lot of people aren't going to want a GTA game in the future because, you know, for the most part, GTA games have been set in real life. They've been set in a world that we live in and can relate to. So I'm sure a lot of people wouldn't want this. But would you want at least a Rockstar game based in the future that we're talking about? Maybe that's what Agent was. I don't know if Agent's ever going to happen, but maybe that's what they did, or maybe that's what they were working on, because I'll say this, GTA is a perfect game for the modern time, the time we're in now. Red Dead is the perfect series for the, 100 years ago, and it's amazing. And I definitely think, because Rockstar is a pioneer at just making amazing games, and going 100 years in the future, opposite of Red Dead, I think they could do something special and something different and unique with that setting. Another thing, if you guys have ever played Far Cry 4, I believe it was, there was a DLC for that game that was kind of just like a separate one-off thing, but it was called Far Cry Blood Dragon, and it was something completely different from the base game. And maybe they don't go the route of making a new IP or making a GTA game specifically set in the future, but maybe they go the route of a one-off DLC for a future GTA game set in the future. Like, I don't know, that would be really cool in my opinion. But anyway, that is it with the video. Thank you all for watching. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Since we didn't get any news on GTA 6 or Red Dead 3, I don't know, I just wanted to make this little video because I thought it'd be a little interesting topic to discuss. See you all in the next video. Drop a like if I don't know if I mentioned that. Subscribe. As always though, it's your boy Saintsfan. I'm out. Peace.